The following podcast is scheduled for 3 segments.
Hello. Welcome to the NWE podcast.
We don't always talk about wrestling, but when we do, we hate it.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. The cusp of 2023 is right around the corner. I know it's been a couple months since
What the fuck are we doing, man?
I know it's been a couple months since we
No.
did our last episode,
No.
but
This
we
guy
could
started-
not
No.
leave the
Like
year
2 years ago.
2022 without doing one more podcast, and we have a
What the
great
hell is he talking
show
about?
for you tonight. In fact, the episode we're reviewing, this is 10 years to the date of it happening.
What the fuck is he talking about?
10
It's
years to the date.
2024, bucko.
2022 is going to end with a bang because we were recording a 2012 episode of Monday Night Raw.
Bro,
10
Bro,
years.
you hear this?
10 years in the making. Can you believe it, guys? 10 years. December 31st, 2012 to December 31st, 2022.
You know, I'd love to say that, but it's 2024. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Want to introduce your co-hosts?
Dude, we just did Clash of the Castle like 5-6 months ago. What are you talking about?
What a show that was.
That was a
Dude,
crazy.
you know-
That was a crazy
I
show.
can't wait. You know, I can't
Dude,
wait.
it's gotta be
for the
2025.
I can't wait for the Royal Rumble with all my
Dude,
all the
I'm
great
checking my
stars like
calendar right
Elias.
now. 2023
Brock
is dead ass
Lesnar.
like 4 hours away.
Next year is
Dude,
going to be the
dude,
best
it's-
year in AEW history. I can feel it.
Dude, it's about to...
And 10 years ago to this date, we would be 20 minutes into that episode of Monday Night Raw.
Dude, it's gonna be 2025.
Well, let's get
So we
started.
have,
Dude,
Keelix.
we have a recorded...
We have-
We have a recorded in about...
We have Snoop.
Okay, yeah.
This is
always-
electric.
We have Reed.
I'm new here. I promise. I've not been on any episode before. I promise I've never been on an episode before.
And we have
Oh.
Jordan Mays. But you be more enthusiastic than that. It's the new year. 2023 is right around the corner, and you're not hype.
You know,
Dude, it's about to be
I'm
2025.
really hyped for the new year.
You know,
I thought that 2022 was a very strong year. I thought we did very well with this.
Oh,
channel.
we're all going with
We
this?
did.
You know, and I'm looking. Of course, I'm looking forward to the new year. But unfortunately, we just reviewed. We are just about to review actually the worst wrestling show in the history of the business.
Wow. He's not wrong.
No.
He's not wrong.
oh my god.
He is-
Well, yeah, that episode is the December 31st, 2012 episode of Monday Night Raw.
10 years to the
Also
date.
known as the episode that John Cena dropped doo-doo on Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee.
That's what it's known for? That's all?
That's the doo-doo episode.
Actually, what it's known for is the doo-doo drop. As
It's
Yeah.
the
we call
doo-doo
it.
drop.
I guess there's nothing else memorable on the show. That is true.
Oh yeah,
No.
but
There's nothing
honestly-
on this show.
This is a
There's
do we
show.
not.
have anything before we get into the show?
Oh, let's talk about the world of wrestling right now. AEW. How's that going?
Oh
right
yeah, Full Gear was a great show. MJF as champion going into 2023. A lot of expectations with that. Winter is coming.
I hate MJ.
now? Oh my god, AJ fucking
Uh,
sucks. This guy is a loser.
There's actually right now, Jordan, in the rumor mill, the big free agent's Jay White. Is he going to WWE? Is he going to AEW? Right now, we don't really know. He's scheduled to lose the title to Okada in the Tokyo Dome, but he's a big free agent.
Dude, somebody's shooting outside.
I thought it was 2024. I thought it was 2020. That nigga was already gotten there. I thought we knew this
Where?
already.
Where'd he go?
I thought he got to AEW. He just had a match
With who?
With who?
with Orange Cassidy, Hangman, John Moxley, Roseanne.
Yeah, where's CM Punk
24?
in that? Where's CM
What is
Punk in
World's
that?
End?
24.
World's End?
CM Punk is gone, guys.
Brother,
CM Punk is
what?
gone.
What?
Brother, what?
The what?
Brother, what?
Gosh, it's 2024. It's probably 2025.
You keep saying that, but I don't think it's gonna make it true.
No. I mean, I mean, I got it right here.
You know, what are you gonna tell me next? Bryan Danielson's done wrestling.
I mean, yeah,
No.
for the most part.
And what's going on in WWE?
CM Punk,
What?
Netflix. I
What?
mean, I think we already knew this.
And Roman Reigns is
Bro,
still
you
champion.
sound like a YouTube prediction page right now.
Man, this guy's
Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
WWE is
And
going
then,
to be
what
on
are you gonna tell me?
Netflix.
What are you gonna tell me next?
No.
Cody Rhodes is WWE champion.
Well, yes, actually, he came back and won the Rumble
Oh,
again,
yeah.
and then won the championship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The next you're going to tell me
And
the
you know
fucking
what
Chiefs
is
are going to
Brock
three-peat the
Lesnar
Super
doing
Bowl,
right now?
huh?
What is Brock Lesnar doing?
Well, that hasn't happened yet, but damn it, it's close.
Yeah, okay, man.
What do you mean?
They already won 2 times. They already won twice.
Well,
Yeah, like
you
20
know,
years ago.
yeah. Enough
No,
of
like 2 years.
yeah.
Not that
Enough
bad.
of this current wrestling BS. Let's get into the December 31st, 2012 episode of Monday Night Raw. Before we get into that, we have some notes of wrestling news at the time from various sources.
Mm.
And
Ooh.
we're starting here. For roughly the 500th time, Edge has told people that no, he will never ever wrestle again. As due to the back surgeries he's already had, he is physically no
Wow.
longer capable of taking even a single bump because he says it would very likely paralyze or even kill him.
Huh?
Well, he lied. He's a
So
liar.
Edge, by the way, just came back.
That is true. He did come
Yeah,
back at the Rumble
he did.
earlier this year.
Yeah.
No. He just came back at
At
World's End.
AEW World's End.
Yeah,
When
he
Randy
came
Orton
back at this
comes
World's
back,
End show or whatever, yeah.
the next thing, when Randy Orton comes back, expect the big pop and feel-good moments to last for only a few minutes before he finally gets his way and turns heel. Sheamus versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship is almost guaranteed for WrestleMania 29 at this point. Meltzer said that he's not sold on this match because I'm not sold WWE will have it in them to go have the heel go over at the biggest show of the year.
Oh, yeah, they never do that.
Heel 1. He did turn heel 2. Now I think about it, honestly, that would have probably been a better match than Del Rio and Jack Swagger.
Yeah. This is from the Slammies episode. Apparently, some people at Raw mistook Big E Langston's debut for a returning Ezekiel Jackson.
Wow,
Which surprised
okay,
many people who had forgotten Ezekiel Jackson was still under contract with WWE. He's even still on the WWE.com roster page.
That's like beyond racist because they don't even look alike.
Big Zeke, by the way, already, I guess, was still signed. I don't know when he gets released.
Signed in 2012?
Still there. He's still there in 2012, I guess. He has hair.
Apparently,
So, like, technically, if they wanted him to, he could have came back at the Rumble that year.
Well,
He
who would want to
could.
see that? Who would want to see that?
What?
I guess the WWE thinks it.
What's the
They
fair
thought he was
Ezekiel
good.
Jackson match?
Against Christian for the ECW Championship.
Nah, I'm about to say the same thing.
Oh man.
Is
But
that the
no, Big E
only Ezekiel
Langston
Jackson
coming in.
match?
Big E Langston coming in.
No.
Cool.
Big Show's had some good ECW Championship matches.
The Big Show's on this show.
That is true.
It
He
makes
is.
sense.
Oh man,
In New
He's on the
Japan
show.
news, reportedly WWE Hall of Famer and wrestling legend Antonio Inoki has converted to Islam and changed his name to Muhammad Hussein. He says, and yes, I thought of the name
What?
Muhammad Hassan joke as you did. And yes, it's as bad as you think it would be.
I didn't think of that joke at all. What the hell?
Is that real?
I guess so. That Inoki had converted to Islam and changed his name to Muhammad Hussein.
That's beast.
Okay, in TNA news,
Oh,
Ric Flair really won't be wrestling again, and the same holds true for Hulk Hogan. That means we may have well been seeing the last matches of the careers of two of the biggest legends in the history of the industry. But also in TNA other news, Hulk Hogan has told the UK's Guardian newspaper that one of the things he wants for Christmas is right knee surgery so he could have a run in 2013 as TNA World Heavyweight Champion at the age 59.
did that happen?
So, no.
Okay.
But I think it's...
What?
Well, he didn't get the surgery, so.
I won.
I think it's to say that TNA sources were saying, yeah, Hogan's done forever, and Hogan's, meanwhile, I got another world title run in me, dude. That's...
Yeah, and then also crazy that Ric Flair said, "Oh, I'm done," and he went on to have his last match approximately 9 to 10 years later. So, man,
And this isn't mentioned in here, but Flair, it was talked about Flair and Punk having a program during Mania season that wouldn't end up in a match. Just like they said similar to the Jerry Lawler Punk program around the time. Okay. More TNA news. The promos airing on Impact Wrestling hyping a big return on 1/3/13. Do any of you guys remember that, Snoop? Snoop, I know you watched Impact at the time.
I actually remember that. Yes, I do.
Are in fact for Sting's return. An interesting
Ah.
rumor I heard was that Buff Bagwell really is in talks to come back and would do alongside Sting. Sting would be bringing back reinforcements to help get rid of the Aces and Eights once and for all. The reason for it being Bagwell is that fans would associate him with the NWO and by extension pick up on the parallels between the NWO and Aces and Eights.
The fact that I
So,
feel like these are all real is that's what's fucked up. Buff Bagwell.
and
You
Sting
couldn't
against
even get
Aces and
Kevin
Eights.
Nash. You could have get Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash was in WWE.
Oh, he
Doing
was,
what?
wasn't he? Because he just showed up,
He
right?
had just done the Sledgehammer stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a year after.
He had to be doing something. That's all I'm saying. In WrestleMania news / Royal Rumble,
What's Kevin Nash doing in WWE in the back?
It's 2012.
in in WrestleMania / Royal Rumble news, there's talk of doing another 40-man Royal Rumble this year. Now that the roster is once again
Oh,
deep enough
Jesus.
to have that many bodies without sacrificing too much talent. This could be another way to feature the Shield, who that it's been rumored could control the Rumble as the new Nexus did a couple years ago.
Dude,
The leading
what?
candidate to win the Royal Rumble, despite Cena and Rock being a done deal, is Sheamus, and a repeat from last year.
What were people
Oh.
think? What were they thinking?
I don't know. So I'm guessing the idea was for Sheamus to win the Rumble and then lose to Randy.
So in a world, okay. So in an alternate universe, WrestleMania looks like John Cena or John Cena Rock, Randy Orton, Davis, and the Shield controls it, and TNA World Champion Hulk Hogan. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, and actually, speaking of WrestleMania, there reportedly been the changes made to every planned match of the card except for Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, which makes sense because Triple H isn't going to let anybody touch or mess with his stuff. This doesn't mean matches are being changed around, but it could mean that the Rock versus John Cena won't be for the WWE Championship. So that is the latest on WrestleMania 29 at the time. The world title match would end up being Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger.
Beast.
If you're
Not
That match
beast.
sucks.
It's the
Sweet.
exact opposite.
That match sucks. Like when you said Sheamus and Randy, that would have been boring, but at least it would
it
have been
would have been
Sheamus and
better.
Randy.
They end up teaming against the Shield actually.
Yeah, with the Big Show.
There was also not mentioned in here there was a lot of talk about Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio being a match at WrestleMania 29, but Sin Cara got hurt and they decided that the next big Mexican babyface would be Del Rio, which for longtime viewers of the pod explains why last week's Raw he is a heel and this week's Raw he's going to be a babyface.
Well,
But
no, we can't explain that yet. That's just
it
something
just
that
kind of
I
happens.
don't know.
But speaking of Raw, time to get into maybe the worst episode of wrestling television I've ever watched.
Dude, come on, y'all. It
Okay.
wasn't
Come on, we've watched a
that
lot. We've seen a
bad.
lot. Come on, man. It can't be that
That
bad.
was no, but it's top five though for
Oh, yeah,
sure. But
definitely.
like, come on,
It's in there.
it's not the worst.
It's
You are now
definitely in that
tuned
list, though.
now. You are now tuned now. The world's greatest.
Not tuned in. What the hell is two now?
I don't know how the song goes.
Dude.
I don't know the lyrics to the song. But tonight is the night.
This made me
And all this,
realize how short the fucking the world is watching is, because like I remember what I remember that being vividly there as a kid, but this is already 2012 and it's gone. I was like,
the
where
world is
where?
watching is only there for like 2 years, and then it's the champ is here. And then it
Yeah.
gets
It's like,
moved to
yeah,
Now Forever. But
right now
this
forever, but
intro's
it's
got
very
all the
weird.
stars in it. all this. Did any of you guys write notes on who's in this intro?
Dude, I wrote
Yeah,
down
man.
tonight is
Like,
the night, bro. I didn't give a shit who was in it. I
Yeah,
looked
man,
yeah,
away.
I wrote show opens
like,
with Tonight is the Night. The only wrestler that I truly saw where like a glimpse was The Undertaker. I was like, bro, he's never gonna be on this show. So I don't know.
I saw John Cena. I
saw the
saw.
Rock.
I saw the
Of course, I think I saw Ryback, which,
Triple
you know,
H,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stars are here,
but
guys.
yeah. Speaking of stars, this show kicks off with awesome because
I came to
it's
play.
time for Miz
I wrote
TV.
down. I wrote down straight up. I saw the Miz. I want to turn it off now.
I rolled my eyes crazy when I heard his shit.
That's too many words. I just typed the Miz and kept it moving.
Because Miz is on his babyface run, and
Mm.
Miz thought that this would really connect with the audience. He's out here in "Haters Love Me" shirt. There's couches that aren't going to be sat in. Like, but he's here. He does his welcome everybody the most must see show in WWE history. It's Miz TV,
It sure
You know, it's
is,
and
crazy.
man.
I think they just stopped doing Miz TV. I think there is. When's the last time we did a Miz TV?
I don't pay attention to the Miz that much.
I don't
So
know.
Oh,
What I noticed about that is that I guess this is still like super early Miz TV because the crowd didn't do it with him. Like, I mean, nowadays, maybe for the past like almost decade, he'll do the fucking he'll do the must see welcome to the most must see TV show or whatever, and the crowd will finish it. And this time he had to do the whole intro. Guess he just started it.
Dude, the crowd.
yeah,
yeah.
the
I
other thing
got.
The
is he's
crowd
got a
wasn't into
scratch
anything
There's a
tonight,
name.
man. They didn't do
There's
anything.
another thing. There's another thing on the show that I was like, man, hey, when did they start? When did they start doing it? I was like,
The
oh,
other thing I noticed about the Miz TV that is different than now is the scratch logo for the Miz. I'm used to the newer logo. So, but his guest tonight is a man we'll see a lot on this show. It's John Cena. And the trumpet's hit,
he's
and you
a
get the John Cena shot, the John Cena signature.
he's a 10 years strong because it was his 10 years since he was there. He was 10 years strong.
Prior to Cena coming out, Miz said that Vicky Guerrero declared that tonight is a championships on the line type of night, which means that every championship minus the WWE championship is going to be on the line. It's going to be
Yes.
champion's choice. The champions get to choose their opponents tonight, and boy, there were some doozies here tonight. Just
I
some
think they should
fantastic.
I think they should bring this back. I don't know.
Oh,
AEW,
that's what I
WWE.
was thinking.
I think they should bring this thing back. I feel like
Oh
There are
man,
some fantastic wrestling matches on this show. Let me tell
great
Dude,
booking.
I'm not gonna spoil, but the very first thing that came to mind was like, okay, I'm gonna pick a guy like Hornswoggle as my opponent, and then the night's going
well,
on, and it's like nobody's picking anything crazy, and I realized later on, like, oh, that's why they didn't. Okay.
you.
Well, Hornswoggle gets
oh,
teased because of Kofi. Wade Barrett. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
But no, the John Cena, Miz asked, I don't know if any of you guys have quotes for it, but Miz asked, like, what about the scandal with AJ Lee? Like, super duper serious. And John Cena just starts talking real sad. He's like, well, it didn't really pan out, I'm a little sad about what happened. Like, he's really depressed right now.
He was legit like he legit went, Miz, it's over. It's over.
dude, because
Somebody
I
kill
think he was
himself.
mad. I think it was bad because it was like, damn, everybody else had their chance with AJ Lee, CM Punk, Kane, Dan Bryan.
Oh, I'd be pissed if Kane got one over me. I'd be pissed. You told me she was wearing Kane's mask every week, but she gave up on Cena 2 weeks in.
The thing was though, because I remember the storyline, it was like weird because I remember John Cena would be in like in a major title thing with Punk, and then for some reason the side story of John Cena is, oh my god, I'm fucking AJ Lee, and then it was like Vicky Guerrero pulled up a picture of them in the hotel. It was just a weird thing, and as he's doing this, he's fighting CM Punk, the WWE champion.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, it was insane.
And Miz is coming off, or not Miz, Cena's coming off of losing to Dolph Ziggler at TLC, where AJ cost him. And Miz breaks the news to John Cena that he's been invited to AJ and Dolph Ziggler's New Year's toast. And John Cena, this is brand new news to him. This is he did not know about this. He's not online that much. But he says a few things, and he teases the end of the show about how he's going to drop in. Whether that is, I don't know what the exact quote he said.
Oh no! So the exact quote he says is, "Maybe we can watch the ball drop. Maybe you can watch something drop. Maybe we can watch someone drop." I was like, "Ooh,
But,
chills."
Big Show?
He's gonna drop Big Show on.
Oh, no, chocolate
dude,
chop.
he's gonna do the chocolate chop.
With Mark Henry.
Oh, the chocolate chop! Oh my god!
Imagine he does the thing where he's like, "You're full of something else," and then they come back and they get washed by Mark Henry.
Mark Henry draws from the fucking rafters. Oh my god! Ah! Well, next week we're gonna have The Rock in Tampa for the.
Oh my god!
Don't miss next week at all.
Anyway, next week Rock is back and he's gonna be in Tampa, Florida. Ryback versus CM Punk.
Dolph Ziggler fucking dies. Well, next week we're gonna have one of the greatest superstars in all of wrestling.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson in Tampa, Florida.
Oh.
But then John Cena is interrupted by his WrestleMania opponent, Damien Sandow.
Oh.
Oh yeah, and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Team Rhodes Scholars is out here, and this is a team that wasn't together for the longest time, but I just have a very clear memory of. It's
I mean,
Yeah, you know, I have memories more so of their breakup. I remember them being together, but I don't remember like anything that they did. But I know the breakup is like that's Cody throwing the briefcase into the pier, that's Sandow getting the new briefcase.
yeah, and like it was a good breakup angle, and they didn't care. So like, oh,
yeah,
No.
but Damien Sandow is saying this Damien Sandow stuff, quote Shakespeare and all this stuff, and John Cena starts making unintelligible noises. We're severely in John Cena comedy bag.
Skibbity Ridge, Ohio.
No.
And somewhere along, he said something about RG3. I didn't catch it.
Yeah,
he said
Sandow
the
quoted-
quote, the great poet or great poet, whatever, RG3. You guys suck. Ah, Washington. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to RG3.
Yeah.
You know.
I didn't mention this. I was at the show live.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, I attended this show, but no, Damien Sandow doesn't know who RG3 is, and he's gonna learn that from Michael Cole, who is going to grill him not only during this promo but during the match about not knowing who RG3 is. Michael Cole gets very frustrated.
And then there's a part, for some reason, Cena is very infatuated with Cody's mustache, so much so that he gets super close up to his face, and it takes Cody Rhodes to stop for him to stop.
I said John Cena gets super sensual with mustache
Don't
Cody
let
Rhodes.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly how Sandoz gets him to like go into this, but Cena is like, you know what? You're right. We there is something serious that we need to address. There's something that's kind of prodding, growing, and then he just starts slowly getting closer and closer to Cody until he's in his face.
Like he's in it. Like
I can almost
out
taste
the
it.
10. Out the 10, dude.
I'm expecting him to lick Cody's mustache. But somewhere along this line, I don't know who says it, but they turned this into a match, and we're gonna kick the show
Oh yeah,
off
it's Cena. Cena is like, it's the regular Raw bullshit. He goes over, talks to the Miz. He's like, we've had our differences, but I think tonight it should be John Cena, the Miz versus Damien Sandow, Cody Rhodes, right now. And the crowd,
Yeah,
they pop because it's John Cena.
They called him Gandalf and Magnum PI. You're so funny. You're so funny.
And
Nah,
I think
man,
it's funny
he was like,
because
he kept saying bygones be bygones, man. This dude, year 2013. You know what I'm
They
saying?
keep
Bygones be
saying
bygones.
bygones be bygones. Punk
Oh
said,
my god, that's another
he said
thing
that
that really
backstage.
like was crazy to me. Michael Cole keeps hammering home this. Did you ever
Bygone.
think you'd see the team of the Miz and John Cena?
I
The
mean, they just
Miz,
fought left.
the
He
Miz
invited
and
him on
John
his
Cena
show.
once were tag team champions.
He invited him out here.
Yeah, but I think what shocked me is that they simply there's no ad break. They just show them walk into the ring. Both teams. It's
And
like not even.
of course, it wouldn't be Monday Night Raw in 2012 about Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler commentary
Yeah,
because
yeah.
You're gonna hear a lot from them tonight.
Jerry Lawler goes on to talk about, or Michael Cole goes on to talk about how active on Twitter they are, and they're talking about, man, Cody Rhodes' mustache has been trending for weeks. And
Worldwide.
I was watching the show. I was like, man, how the fuck could an adult human watch this show? I mean, like, Jesus Christ.
That leads directly to what I was gonna say. Something I noticed, like, okay, I get it. You know, John Cena, he's always gonna get chants from kids. But the very first thing I noticed, right on the very first Cena chant, is that when you hear "Let's Go Cena," it's very clearly you can only hear children chanting it. Like it sounds like a
Yeah,
group
Yeah,
of
children
children
and
screaming
women.
it.
yeah.
There's
It's
not an
women and
adult.
children, and then all you hear, "Go
Cena
Cena
sucks.
sucks."
Sucks.
That was
Like not a single grown up is singing "Let's Go Cena."
what somebody is, but we're gonna get this ass match on the way, and we Damien Sandow, man. I was saying this, some peculiar gear this guy has: pink trunks, purple knee pads, white boots. I mean, I just think it's very different from everybody else on the roster at the time. I feel like
Well, you know, I
he
forgot
stands
what
out. I'll
Cole
tell you
said
that.
exactly, but you know, pink represents like nobility or something like that.
No way he said that.
Because he was quoting Sandow. Sandow was like saying like you know he wears pink as like a sign of
What's
intelligence or
purple
something like
mean?
that.
Purple mean
He said a lot of things. He said Sandow told him a lot of things. He said he was the Duke of Decency. You know,
the Duke of Decency.
that's what Davey Sandow said.
Damien Sandow says a lot of stuff probably, but this match starts the only way, which is heat on the Miz, headlock on the Miz, and there's just there's a lot of heat on the Miz. That's
I
all
got
this
nothing
match
from this
is.
Yeah, I'll
match.
be
I'm
so
gonna
honest
be
with
honest.
you.
I got nothing.
I didn't pay attention to. Well, I mean, I paid attention to the matches, but like every single match, there was maybe one interesting spot, and then the rest was just regular 2012 wrestling.
Well, what's
Dude,
the
it was.
interesting spot in this match? Is it Cena's comeback?
It's got to be that.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm
So
like, I don't know. There's nothing behind any of the matches tonight. To be frank, there's nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing.
They were matches. That's
And
all you could say, really.
the closest you get to something is the Cena comeback, which he does, and he hits the AA, and that's it. That's
I
basically the match. I
yeah.
mean,
I do have some things to say. I had some stuff I said, which I said this match is gonna suck. And then immediately the second the headlock got put in, Michael Cole started talking about RG3 again. And then Miz is like so weird because he's only been face for a bit, so he's kind of working heel. Like he's doing heel stomps and like he's kind of
like
doing heel
kick to the
stuff.
guts. I was like,
Yeah,
dude, you're supposed to get cheered.
this is the and but he's over because you hear that crowd. Miz is awesome. Miz
Yeah,
is
and
awesome.
then he gets put into the headlock forever, and there's no like, you know how to, claps and like you
Clap.
clap to get
Yeah.
him up. There's nothing. There's nothing. It's just headlock to noises.
There's not going to be any of that on this show because that crowd is going to be at his hottest. It came out
Dude,
at the
this
start of the
crowd
show.
does not give a shit no more, man. They don't care about anything.
And it's the first match.
They talk
Right.
about because this match stinks and there's only headlocks and spots. Cody Rhodes starts doing the one move Eddie Kingston did where he's trying to rip your head off. The top that Jericho way.
Oh, hold on. Yeah,
Um,
Cody, I think that's the one thing I noticed about this match. The one thing I noticed is that he, I guess it's not a surprise, but he does some of the later Codyisms that he does, like, later on now in this match, you know, like the drop down chop to the throat.
Oh well, that's the big gold ones from the set. So he always had that.
Yeah.
Rose, that's the Rhodesisms.
I wrote down that they're talking about last week's Raw, and Jerry Lawler says that John Cena Alberto Del Rio is in his match of the year contender list, up
Wow.
there with. Also on this
Is the
year
year
was
that
Daniel
bad?
Bryan. Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk happened this year. The
Happened
Hell in a Cell
twice.
with Undertaker and Triple H. They actually promote a DVD of the best matches of the year, and believe it or not, John Cena and Del Rio is not on that list, guys.
Hmm.
Damn.
I wonder why.
I just think the DVD. I think the DVD came out a little too late or a little too
But
early before that match happened.
this
Yeah,
match feels like
probably.
it goes forever. Miz gets the hot tag to Cena. Cena does the Cenaism, shoulder tackle, swing, whatever he calls the back suplex move, attitude adjustment. We're out of here. It's maybe the longest 8-minute match I've seen in my life. Uh, felt like 40.
Did anybody take note of what Jerry Lawler's question was to Damian Sandow during this match?
Oh.
No.
Question.
Jerry Lawler tells Michael Cole, he says, I got a question for Mr. Smarty Pants later. Michael Cole says, well, what is it, Jerry? Jerry says, who was the famous playwright that was terrified of Christmas?
He
Noel
says,
Coward.
"No, coward." Ah!
And
And you know, later tonight, Jay Lawrence says a lie, and I completely agree with him 110%. You know,
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler has quote of the night. But Noel, oh,
Noel
speaking
Coward.
of
Noel
speaking of what Snoop was talking about with Jerry Lawler, recut to our first time of the night, the New Year's party backstage,
Woo!
and I had wrote down a lot of people that I saw in this area. I
a
saw,
lot of
I
people was
said,
wearing a lot of things.
I said Jimmy or Jay Uso fitted up. Great Khali's in like a hat and glasses. Tyson Kidd's in a winter hat where I couldn't recognize
Oh
him.
yeah, you didn't
And
even mention Kali had like two ladies at his side, just like chatting him up crazy.
Punjabi
maybe,
Playboy, they call him.
maybe,
Maybe long dick you both.
Jesus Christ. I saw
My fault.
I saw Tensai in a button shirt, which is about to explode. And
Is
Titus O'Neil walks up to Vicky Guerrero, and he's got sideburns. Uh,
you know, I just thought about is Tenzai at this time Sweet Tea already?
Is he?
no, because he's distant from Brodus Clay and the Funkadactyls.
Uh,
Yeah, but Titus O'Neil's sideburns is really what's getting me. But
I saw Curtis Axel in the chain. That was kind of crazy.
you have any notes for this, Jordan?
Bro.
You
I
weren't.
know, when David Otunga was talking to Vicky Guerrero, he was like, "Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great year for me." And Vicky's like, yeah, it's gonna be a great year for me too." And David Otunga's like, "No, but it's gonna be the year of Otunga." Okay, man.
That nigga was.
Like, hey,
Lying.
I checked out until Punk walked in. It was
Oh my god, you super checked out.
Yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of being checked out, here's CM Punk, and CM Punk is with Paul Heyman. He looks great. He's wearing something I think I would wear out, and he's injured, very real injured,
Legitimately injured. Like it's
legitimately very injured.
Shoot, man.
It's a long story about this knee injury. You could listen to The Art of Wrestling with Cole Cabana if you really want to know this injury. But Vicky Guerrero, he's exempt from having to defend his title on the Champion's Choice night, but he gets to still make a match between his challenger next week, which is the Big Ryback.
Mm,
the
And
fucking dumb fuck.
actual legend.
Vicky Guerrero doesn't know what to do, so CM Punk gaslights her. CM Punk whispers in her ear, and she says, "Ryback versus the Shield."
Hey, you
And
said
I was
that.
like, oh.
You said that.
Yeah,
That was sweet. Yeah, that wasn't me.
because Punk is trying to distance himself from the Shield at this time. He's trying to. They had just come in at Survivor Series the month before, and we'll see later how different the Shield is from what they would become in later months.
Yeah, I should also mention that before they set up the the Ryback match, Punk mentioned to Vicky that he brought his own personal doctor from Chicago, and he's gonna have him explain to the people about just how bad his injury is later on tonight.
Oh man, that's gonna be a great thing. But first, Vicky, I forgot to mention Paul Heyman tries to get a kiss from Vicky Guerrero, and I wrote down
Oh my
Paul Heyman,
god.
little pervert.
Because
That nigga was
CM
cheating.
Punk gives
Bro.
her a peck on the cheek. He walks off, she waves him. And while she's waving away at CM Punk, Paul
I
Heyman
think
is
Paul
doing like a
Heyman wanted
little.
it, bro.
And then she looks at him crazy, like, what the fuck?
She says, "Oh."
This woman kissed a Big Show, and Paul Heyman is she kissed
Paul
everybody.
Heyman is the fucking limit.
Dude, Paul Heyman's a limit. I mean, I can't be wrong. He's got the rat tail here. I could literally see like his pores on the screen. Paul Heyman looks nasty here. But speaking of nasty, Cesaro is in the
Oh.
ring. He's the United States
Oh my
champion.
god.
He's got something to say because he is the champion and he's got his champion's choice. So I can't wait to
The
get
way
into
he
this.
set this up is so crazy, right? So he said, we're in Washington, D.C. I went to the Lincoln Memorial. I went to the White House. I went to the Pentagon. You went to the Pentagon? Why?
And they just let him in.
Because he was the United States
And Tony
champion.
Cesaro, you've got clearance.
He just stood up there. Like, huh. You
But
okay?
what's
Oh my god, it
even
really does have
crazier-
5 sides.
What's crazier is he says, when I was in the Pentagon, he's enunciating everything, by the way, crazy.
Like,
And
super.
he says, when I was in the Pentagon, I met somebody. I met the man who stands for the USA and the red, white, and blue.
He points to the stage.
Out comes
Sergeant Slaughter walks on out.
Oh my
Big
god!
fat stomach. Probably could be
And-
Santa, Sergeant Slaughter.
And I have many questions. My main question was simply, do you think they just talked and was like, you know what? I think you're good enough to have a title match,
Can we
Why
talk
was
about what
Slaughter-
Sergeant Slaughter was doing at the Pentagon a couple
Yeah, what-
days before
Well,
New
dude, he
Year's?
fought in the war. He can definitely be in the.
He fought in the. There's no war. You
But
think,
what is he doing there?
Obama called him.
Oh,
Obama
you're right.
started, he was doing war stuff.
You want to go hang out at the Pentagon? Order some
Sergeant
pizzas?
Slaughter sucks. He really-
Oh my god.
Dude, no, he does because he was having a classic
Oh yeah,
in this match.
So Sergeant Slaughter trots on down here to a little bit of a reaction, and then, as always, he
Stop
takes
not
off
going
his
for
hat.
nothing.
As always, he
No,
takes off
also,
his hat.
I can't remember who said this on commentary. I can't remember who said it. Somebody said he may have bet on more than he could chew with the Sarge.
Lord have mercy.
Probably Jerry.
I thought it was going to be Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Because I was like, all right, Hacksaw was wrestling, probably still on the NDC. He was just in the WWE 2008. So, like, if
What was
anything.
that? Hacksaw's not at the Pentagon. He didn't fight in the war like Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
True.
Sergeant Slaughter was at the Pentagon, and Claudio Castagnoli was visiting there.
You know what I noticed about this match in these two? There is a completely different level between Antonio Cesaro's bald and Sergeant Slaughter's bald.
And that's what I was about to get to. He takes his hat off, and a gasp came out of
This
my.
dude is the
came
most
out of
smacked
my
ass in the world.
This guy is so bald. It's so tiny. It's like Squidward.
Oh my
It's
god!
legit
I
like
just
Squidward.
realized because didn't Sergeant Slaughter show up on was it the Christmas show?
No way they had him 2 weeks ago.
No,
No
actually
way.
no. Oh no, I'm thinking of Raw 1000. That's what I'm thinking of. Shit.
What was he doing at Raw
With the
1000?
legend segment?
Yeah.
Man, he's so bald.
They were like, "Hey man, you just worked recently, man. You could probably come up here again, right?"
I don't know, man. But this match starts, and I wrote down Sergeant Slaughter wrist locks Claudio Castagnoli
Yeah.
because
They were wrist locking. They were locking up.
And
I was scared, man. I thought this legit was about to just be a technical match.
I couldn't believe this. They work. I can't tell you anything about this match, man. They just were doing stuff, and then
It it went 2 minutes and Cesaro won. That's all that was to it. That's
and
all there was to it.
what perked my ears up for a second though is they do Antonio Cesaro goes off the rope. He kicks Sergeant Slaughter in the face, and Sergeant Slaughter no sells to no pop, puts him in the camel clutch to no pop, and then immediately Cesaro grabs the ropes. Cesaro gets out of it. He hits him with a neutralizer.
To no
One, two,
pop.
three, no pop. And then after,
Nothing.
Cesaro is gonna beat down Sergeant Slaughter. Even
He
though
beats
To
down
no
this
pop.
He beats down this old man, and nobody is booing, nobody is cheering, and worst of all, nobody says
Nobody,
what the heck.
nobody saves him.
I was really expecting Jack Swagger or somebody to come out, even
I was
like the
expecting like
Miz
a Zack
again.
Ryder to come out. I was like, you know what,
Dude,
Zack Ryder, just come
when
out.
he loaded him up for the second neutralizer, I was just like, okay, somebody's gonna come out. He hits
Yeah,
him,
Cesaro
and I'm
wasn't
like,
even looking
okay,
safe.
somebody's gonna come out after.
Nobody.
The refs come out and start looking at him. Okay, somebody's gonna come out, and then he's cut away.
And I don't know why Cesaro was so like I don't even know how to call it. Like booked. Like he was like speaking to Sergeant Slaughter, and he was like, "We're gonna have this good match." Because this is the only match where they came to an agreement, and then he beats him down. And Cesaro's
Hey, bro.
booking was just
That's so crazy. I didn't even think about it in that context. Hey man, I like you, man. Let's do a match later. Okay, cool. And then he just fucking beats the shit out of it and treats him like shit. Like what? That doesn't make any
dude.
sense.
Oh, I
What was you
forgot
gonna
this
say?
spot of the match. Claudio Castagnoli slaps him in his big bald head,
Yeah.
and then Sergeant Slaughter tries to do the same thing, and he like
Yeah, he just hits him on the
To no
back,
pop.
really, not even on the head.
To no pop.
No pop either.
It's so sad.
Man, by the way, Cesaro was one of the guys they said they had a big future plan for 2013, and the way they're booking
they
him,
kept saying that every year.
They
You
said
know?
that about a lot of people.
we go from one great wrestler dealing with bullshit to another, because Daniel Bryan is backstage with his tag partner Kane, and they are walking.
I'm on record. I'm on record to say that Team Hell No is the only good thing Kane has done in his life.
Yeah, man. I think this just strengthens Brian's GOAT case, like super style, man, because Kane sucks. He really sucks.
Sucks
We
dick.
talk about it a
Beyond.
lot. We talk about it a lot, but Kane sucks.
Yeah, not even on the podcast, man. We
Like,
just talk about this sometimes.
like after
Yeah,
there's a
there's
certain
been
point
discussions about
to
Kane.
after 2000, really after he was able to breathe in his mask, and then
He's
beyond,
able to
even
talk.
like it gets worse. It gets worse when he takes the mask off.
He-
When he takes the mask off, there's like no other wrestler that's worse than him. Everything he does is bad. He does. Oh my god, there's nothing good about Kane after he takes that mask off. And then he puts the mask back on to come back
Swerve.
against John Cena.
Hmm.
And man,
And
whole bunch of
Brian
bullshit.
and Kane are pissed because they wanted the Shield, which I don't know why they wanted them because they just lost them at TLC, and they
Well, they
probably
want
would
the
have lost the
revenge,
tag
you know?
titles there. So if anything, they were. And I really need somebody to explain what happened next.
Okay,
'Cause-
so they're pissed off, and all of a sudden you hear like not too far in the distance, and they're like, "What's going on over there?" They open up this little side panel, and it's 3MB just thrashing around.
And we're practicing. We're rehearsing. Rehearsing for what? We'll face you tonight. By the way, this is
Yeah.
future WWE champion Drew McIntyre.
Don't you mean future
Absolutely.
WWE champion Jinder Mahal?
Yeah.
That's the
And
more
then Daniel
important one.
Bryan, and then Daniel Bryan after seeing this goes, yes, 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 and that's very important because he was doing the no, no, no gimmick here. So
Yeah.
So,
you change the character.
slow burn. But we're back to
Hold
back
on,
to
man.
the party.
Hold on, man.
Back to,
Hold on, man.
oh,
I got this.
oh, man.
What?
Oh
Oh
my.
wow.
Like that? Damn,
Oh.
he took initiative.
First off, it feels like at this point, I've been watching this show for 3 hours, and it's been 35 minutes.
Yes.
Let's start there.
God, man, yeah.
They cut to Ricardo in the back, and Ricardo's at the New Year's Eve party.
Ricardo
He's
Rodriguez, right?
Ricardo Rodriguez, yeah, he's at the New Year's Eve party. He's got a little drink. He's working us some, and behind him, the world heavyweight champion, the
Oh,
world's largest athlete himself, the Big Show.
Hungry.
And Big Show pops up behind him, and he's like, "Hey, Ricardo, you know, Vicky Guerrero said that tonight."
No, 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 no. Hold on. You're missing something.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, amigo.
Oh, he does start.
Como está?
He
Come
starts
on.
speaking Spanish. He says, "Como está?" And Ricardo's panicking. He's like,
oh.
Big Show says, Vicky Guerrero said that tonight is champion's choice. And I was thinking, tonight, you would be my opponent. And Ricardo's panicking. He's like, And he has this drink. And he drops this drink on the floor. And Big Show looks at him and he said, "You dropped your drink."
No, get out of
Die.
the problem is that he's in his. I mean, it's the same with Cena and Rose. He is in this nigga's mug, and it's like, oh my god.
He
And the
says, "You
worst-
dropped your drink on my bow ties." And Ricardo's panicking. He cleans up the boot. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And so Big Show's like, "Good luck," because he's gonna have a match tonight. And then I was like, "Okay, let's get to the action. Whatever."
Oh,
A cut happens,
Oh
and it's a
god.
cut to the exact same room. They didn't leave a room.
yeah, it
They
is.
just cut to a different camera in the room.
And this is not the only odd editing choice of the show. We'll get to one later.
It was unbelievable, and what made it even more unbelievable is that it's the group of divas, and Caitlyn walks in, and Caitlyn's like, "Girls, look who I just brought to the party," and it's Mae Young.
89-year-old Mae Young.
Let me
89-year.
let me explain something. Growing up in this era, I don't like it. However, what I don't remember fondly, but I do think about it a lot, is the fact that a lot of the aha funny bit always involved one fucking person, and that person name was Mae Young. The amount of times that I've had to see this old woman on my screen as a little child pisses me off because it was never funny, and it certainly wasn't funny here. It certainly wasn't funny this whole time. This shit took up
never.
Really bad tonight. Really bad.
the show. 4 segments of the show.
It's awful.
And I want to mention a few things here because number one about the Big Show. I don't know if there's a dress code at this party because Big Show showed up in gear. Big Show showed up with his titties all out. And saying all that
fat.
to her face. Just really fat. And the build gets worse when he comes out later. But Mae Young, at this point, they've been trotting out this old woman for 14 years. Fabulous Moolah's dead, and she can barely even get a line out. And she is going to face Eve Torres for the Divas Championship tonight.
Yeah, Eve comes in, and Eve calls Mae Young's WWE's favorite octogenarian. And Mae says, "What?"
What does that even mean?
Eve says,
what does that mean? Did anybody got
she's beaten the entire roster, or at least every diva that was at the party except, and before she can get the line out, Mae interrupts her. "Except me, what you been talking about? You can't beat me."
You haven't beat me yet.
This woman is dead in 13 months.
Now I'm gonna say this, right? I feel like Eve, in my opinion, was a victim of circumstance because there's an era. This time period is like really weird because it's in between. They want girls to go out there in like fucking lingerie, but it's also before women's revolution. So there's like girls like
Before Stephanie
AJ.
McMahon invented women.
Yeah, there's girls like AJ and Caitlyn and Eve that's like good, but they don't give a shit about women's wrestling. So and they can't do the shit they was doing before because now they're PG. So now it's like, oh man, what the fuck can we do with these girls now? I think Eve was also just a victim of it because she's not great, but she's not bad. She's not Oksana.
Eve
Yeah,
congratulates May on winning the honor to have the worst match ever. And when you're talking about the worst ever, here comes Kane in the next match.
Yeah,
yeah, and
true, and let him
it's
know.
time for Daniel Bryan and Kane versus 3MB as it's been set up. The team for 3MB is Drew McIntyre and Heath Slater. And Daniel Bryan on the way to the ring gets into a bit of a shouting contest with a fan of the front row. He's screaming no, she's screaming yes, and he's all in her face.
He clearly enjoyed that. They were both. That was a good moment. I'm sure that was a good memory for her. And Brian had like a little smile when he was coming up the ramp. So I'm sure Brian had a lot of fun doing this.
Brian had a lot of fun doing Team L now. It's interesting to hear him talk about it because him and Kane, he even then he was like, "We are so different in every sense of the word," but I liked hanging out with him.
Yeah, like the thing with Kane, I'll give him one credit. When he does these tag teams where it's like his teammate, they're not alike at all. For some reason, it always works. Him and the Hurricane, him and Rob Van Dam. He probably did something with Goldust. I don't know. It always worked,
Goldust,
and
Him
it
and
what?
X
worked.
Pac.
Him
Him
and
and
X
X
Pac,
Pac,
yeah.
like it always works for some unknown odd reason. And
Him and the Undertaker.
Whoa.
me and my brother are not the same.
Me and my brother, we're gonna beat you now.
That's my Twizzy right
Yeah,
there.
Oh my god.
Don't fuck
yeah,
with
it always
Twin.
works out. So
This match is not as memorable as some of their other outings. The only thing I put down is that Lawler and Michael are insufferable about the goat jokes. There's a lot of goat jokes about Daniel Bryan in this match.
what did I put about this match? I don't think I put anything. If I were to be honest with you, not a damn thing.
Yeah. I put that Kane did a Kane line, which I didn't know he could still do in 2012. The top rope clothesline from Kane.
But because the ending, they did they do a spot where it's the choke slam and the headbutt. I was like, man, choke slam headbutt is cool.
I know towards
That
the
was
end,
it.
Michael Cole says that Kane would be a great secret weapon to get Congress into work.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of
Oh,
foreshadowing
oh,
there.
dude, no. There's a time. It's a course commentary where I think it was Lawler or Cole was bringing up, and the other one was like, "Oh, well, what is it?" He was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were gonna go that far." And then there was like, "Well, oh no," they were like, "Oh, Drew must be excited today," and they're like, "Oh, for what?" And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were gonna go that far." Well, today is he's basically excited because of a Scottish New Year song, and
Oh.
it's New
Yeah.
Year's. I don't I don't think I like Michael Cole and Dre Love together. I don't
I don't
know. It just
think I
feels like
like this show.
oh okay.
Yeah, we're only 40 minutes into this show. It's real bad.
I started zoning out during the matches, man. This is a
I
this is a
don't think
full
this
segment
show
show to me, man.
I don't think this show is good at all. Team Hell No
This
wins.
show
Coming up next is CM Punk.
Yeah, I was about to say they win, and I don't know if anything happens in between, but CM Punk is here. He's here with Paul Heyman and his, as mentioned, physician from Chicago,
no, I think I wrote
specifically
a pretty
from
good
Chicago.
amount
Yes, I have
for
a
this.
lot down from this Punk promo.
First, I said, "Wow, look at this! Look at his clothes. I'm wearing that tomorrow." He's wearing
Yeah,
knees to faces, uh, 25/8, 368 days a year shirt, which I fuck with. He's
Which
wearing
we
the
said before on the
yellow.
podcast is an awesome shirt.
It is.
He's wearing a yellow. He's wearing a yellow beanie. That's the GTS beanie. He's wearing big ass pants and these shoes. He's walking out. He's obviously legitimately hurt, and
hmm
they're using this legitimate injury as a storyline to build
yeah,
up the Ryback.
yeah. They show his injury, because Paul Heyman starts doing the Paul Heyman intro for Punk here, and
Yeah,
Punk starts talking.
sorry, but I was gonna say something. And when you was talking about the Miz TV, this is what I was talking about. No one does the my name is Paul Heyman thing. It's just boos. They're booing him. So I guess it was very early on to when he started doing that. But I don't know.
Yeah, Heyman speaks, and Heyman says all of his cliches, and then Punk gets on the mic, and I can tell Punk's a little locked out because he is. This isn't a bad promo from Punk, but he is speaking out of a thesaurus. I didn't write down some of the words he was saying, but he was saying some very like out there words that I did not understand. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
he was doing the
stupid.
Cody Rhodes.
He was doing the Cody Rhodes, exactly. Do you guys have anything that Punk was saying before we get to
Uh,
who comes out here?
I got a, I got a solid amount. He put over his 2012, and he wrestled and he bested names like Jericho, Ziggler, Big Show, Del Rio, John Cena more than once, and Ryback on numerous occasions. And he talked about how all that comes with a pretty tough schedule, and that he's been injured in it. He then goes on to say that he's much tougher than everybody in the crowd at the time, including Aritz. And he says he's a
Oh
man
yeah.
and he's a champion's champion. And he says that now a lot of the idiotic, non-tough fans in Washington D.C. believe that his injury is
Some-
Oh
felonious.
no, because I
Yeah.
remember exactly what he said. He fucking said, what did he call them? Ah, fuck.
Dude, like I said, it was
There's no way I wrote that
No. He called them
Yeah.
the pencil necked geeks.
Oh my!
oh wow,
Yeah,
he was
he was
big
talking to the Reason
2012.
directly.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm a pencil neck geek, I guess. That's
He brought his doctor from Chicago, Samuel DeCero, I think was his name, to tell the crowd just about how bad CM Punk's injury is. And so his doctor, Sam, says, I need everybody's attention. Look on this Titantron. I'm going to show you what a healthy knee looks like. And a healthy knee pops up on the screen, x-ray of a healthy knee. And then he says, this is what Mr. Punk's knee looks like. And it pops up, and it's a little different. The picture looks a little different. And he says that Punk's meniscus is completely inflamed, and he has swelling in his knee. And
It
now
looked like
CM
it.
Punk, the fighting champion, the champion's champion, a real man, Punk says he can beat Ryback with one arm, he can beat Ryback with one eye, and he can definitely beat Ryback with one leg. And he's looking forward to being a fighting champion. But his Dr. Sam, he says that
hey, wait a minute.
unfortunately he cannot clear CM Punk for the match next week against the Ryback,
No.
and out comes Satan himself.
Yeah, no chance. And
I
if you
wrote
listen to
down,
anything CM Punk says, this is all too ironic. His
no,
injury
dude,
is
'cause I wrote down before you say that. I wrote down since CM Punk can't compete, Vince real life came out and said you have to because like this is not a story. He's not phoning it. He's not faking it. He is legitimately hurt. As Reese said, you could listen to the other podcast where he talked about it, and like he's legit working hurt. If it said, "No, you're gonna wrestle this TLC match,"
yeah. And he comes out in striped suit, big pants. He's strutting. He's
belt,
doing all the
belt to the
This is a
McMahonisms.
stomach,
crazy ass suit too. It's like plaid and shit.
belt to the stomach.
Blue plaid.
Blue plaid for Vince McMahon. And he gets in the ring. And I'm gonna be honest, I locked out for a second. But
Yeah, he said
y'all
something.
said no. Y'all said y'all had a lot written down for
No,
this
no,
segment.
no,
You
no,
guys
no,
said this was
no,
the best segment.
no, no.
What the
I know, no, because that was him. I know what he said. He was talking about, oh well, we'll just get our WWE doctors to look at it, this, that, and the third.
yeah.
And he was like, you know, this is just messed up. This is fucked up. Paul Heyman goes on a little rant. He goes, you're becoming your father because he was becoming a pesky promoter, as he would
A
say.
Ah,
flesh peddling
yes.
promoter, yeah.
Yes.
And but then
That's
Flesh
right.
before
peddling.
that, for real, Punk talks about it, and then basically Vince was like, "Oh man, you're faking your injury. We'll have the dirty doctors look at it, and if they say you can compete, well, you can compete, and if you can't, you can't." CM Punk says a line
Oh.
where he goes, and I quote, he says, "Vince McMahon, how could this be coming from the guy who has been unjustly prosecuted by the government?"
Huh?
And
Yeah.
and he wants you to know this because he says this
He says
twice.
it
He says it
one more
twice.
time.
Yes.
He
Now,
said it twice. And
no, I'm not gonna
earlier,
be
mm,
not gonna be an ass. But all I'm saying is,
Oh.
Seth Rollins, if you were watching the episode, there's a lot of ammo that you could use. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah.
That's
hey,
all I'm gonna
when you
say.
come MJF, when Punk comes back, you have plenty of ammo to work with. But
For sure.
nah, man. Earlier in the promo, I said ironic foreshadowing to Punk's lawsuit with him saying that every doctor around the world has not cleared him. And been saying, well, you got to go to the WWE doctor, and he'll clear you because that is very much what Punk's actual issue was. But Vince is like, well, if you can't compete, then next week, uh, it'll have it'll be Ryback versus another opponent. And he looks over at Paul Heyman,
Yeah.
and Paul Heyman is shocked. His jaw drops, and Vince.
And before they showed the match graphic later, I generally thought they're gonna have not that I thought it was gonna happen, but I was like, man, are they gonna do Paul Heyman versus Ryback in a TLC match for the WWE Championship?
Hooray! Hooray!
That
I
would have
would
I
have
been
said,
watched
man,
it.
insane. But Vince throws in there, or I'll be you, Punk, at the end.
yeah, because you know,
But and man, oh my God, I had to go back and watch this part a couple times because Vince leaves the ring and Paul Heyman is still gobsmacked from what's just been laid upon him. He's got to wrestle the Ryback. He just injured CM Punk. Vince McMahon starts reverse walking in crutches emote, and then drops his jaw and pretends to be stupid. I guess mock Paul Heyman, and it cuts to them back in the ring, and then it cuts back to Vince, who has both of his hands on his knees and looking between the ropes with his jaw dropped and trying to show Heyman his impression of him. I think uh, he starts like messing with his knee, trying to make fun of Punk. I couldn't believe this. This was such.
this
This
nigga,
is definitely.
Punk is shoe hurt, by the way.
he's real life hurt, and he's getting knocked for it.
And his boss just came out and buried him on television, and he just emoted on him. And this is absolutely something that Vince added in post because there's no way any
So
wrestler would have got away with doing that.
when CM Punk says, "I love the job I was working for. I just hate the people running it," it goes back to segments like these where I'm like, you know what? I agree. I think I believe what he's saying. I think I
Yeah.
fully believe what he's talking about. Because, dude, imagine being the hurt world champion. And basically, the guy that should be the face, and your boss comes out there and says, "Yo, you're actually hurt," and then starts mocking you for it. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh man.
it's really bad, and I don't know what you guys thought of that segment. I thought it was probably the best part of the show. Uh, Punk is even a locked out Punk is more appealing than 98% of the roster. And Vince does a pretty good performance, probably because that's how he actually felt. But part of me wanted him to do what he did with Kurt and take away
Dude, oh
the
my god, when he
crutches.
started like looking crazy, just staring off, I thought he was about to fucking snatch the crutch and be like, "Ah, you're faking."
Yeah,
Nah, you know
which
what
he
would
had
have
done
been
with
more
Kirby.
fucked up? More fucked up? Because Punk would have actually fell. Punk would
He
have
would
actually
for real
fell
fell
because he
on
was.
TV.
You would have believed it because he's actually really hurt and he's for real
Oh
hurt.
my god.
Oh man, I don't even. What's next after this? Because I said the next thing I said was there's no heat for this match, and I think this was in reference for Sheamus and Dolph, but I don't know if there was something in between that.
I
Well,
think.
yeah, it's the WWE Did You Know fact, of course.
Oh,
Oh lord.
Oh yeah. Well, Jordan, what is it?
Did you know that last Monday's Christmas episode of Monday Night Raw was number one on all of television for social activity, beating out It's a Wonderful Life, Shrek the Halls, and Hawaii Five-O, according to Trender.com?
Shrek the Halls, man. I was watching
Yeah, I
Shrek
would
the
hope.
Halls.
I would hope that Raw has more tweets than Shrek the fucking Hall.
Hashtag It's a Wonderful Life.
You didn't like Shrek the Halls?
I never
No,
watched
man.
it.
The hashtag It's a Wonderful Life. Oh yeah, our product had more people live tweeting it than a movie that from 80 years ago.
Yeah,
How
well, I
great!
mean, it's a wonderful life. Everybody likes that.
Well,
I
I
mean, it
think
was
as
a
mentioned
wonderful
before,
episode. But
as
up next,
mentioned before, it is Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, and I mean,
I
I
have
love
notes for this
Sheamus.
match.
the matches. What is there to say?
I have notes for this match. I said so early in the match, Ziggler starts getting a lot of offense on Sheamus. Like he just starts whooping him
Oh
in the
yeah, right up
start.
the gate, he fucking makes him back up to the corner, just dropping shots on him. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, whooping his ass.
And I mean, the state of WWE has to be said when Dolph Ziggler is Money in the Bank, just beat John Cena on pay per view, and Sheamus is coming off of a 6 month world title reign, and at this time he was seen as the Rumble winner, and there is absolutely you could hear a pin drop,
Yeah, nah, crowd is so dead by now.
and
Yeah,
well,
like
they were already dead.
it's weird to think about. Like Sheamus was damn near one of the face. Like one of the, if it wasn't Cena, it was Sheamus. You know, which is crazy to think about now, but that was really the case. It was like if it wasn't Cena or maybe Randy Orton, it was Sheamus. So and there was
This
nothing to it.
this was absolutely a time where they weren't confident in Randy though, due to the drug test failures and all of that. But man, this match is okay. It's better in ring than the matches before. Um, Dolph does some good selling, which he always does. Sheamus does some power moves, but man, there's no heat for this match. And
I'm not
there was a
moved.
Michael Cole, and Jerry Lawler moment. So Michael Cole, once they had this horrible communication between the two of them. As Michael Cole asked Jerry Lawler what he's doing for New Year's, and he is like for 10 seconds, like, well, yeah, and then says something about AJ and Dolph. He's like, well, depends on what happens in the main event tonight. And then they just get off of that.
Yeah. Oh my God. They kept saying before, "Oh man, I hope I'm invited." Yeah, I would hope you're doing
Oh
a
yeah,
job as well.
yeah.
I hope you're out
Because
there in the
Michael
job the
Cole
same as well.
says, "Hey King, I wonder if you and I've been invited." He says some other shit, and then it goes to Jerry Lawler, and it really shows how little he can do in this era, without being able to be horny as shit. Because he just says,
Yeah.
"Well, I hope we've been invited. I want to be there."
Yeah, but he's like,
That's
why?
just-
Uh, uh,
okay,
I
why do
don't
you want to
know.
be there?
I don't know. I
Uh,
didn't
Yeah.
think he this far. Yeah, it's awful. Jerry Lawler, does a Jerry Lawler noise. I don't know what he does it about.
he always does.
This match is fine, and the most excited I got was Sheamus dumps Dolph to the outside, and Dolph would have damn near broke his neck, but he's caught by Big E Langston, who catches him.
Nobody, not gonna be anything in the business.
Not gonna be anything in the business. And we get a face off here between Big E Langston and Sheamus, and the crowd was a little into it
Dude, I was into it,
because
man. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh my god!" Imagine
I was
these two
getting
were.
excited.
Imagine if those two were in the ring right now instead of fucking Dolph Ziggler.
yeah, and then out of nowhere is the Shield. It's
The hell, the justice.
the
Ooh,
Hounds of Justice. It's Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins. And Roman Reigns, he's not really found himself yet. Let's just say that.
he doesn't have anything on his arms at
Dude, not
all. No
the sleeve.
gloves.
Dude, the
No.
sleeve isn't even done. The sleeve isn't done. It's
Ah,
just the little shoulder.
not even the tats. His nigga's arms are so fucking.
He's just like
He
he's just a
looks
regular
like a
dude.
baby.
And those three guys went on to, I say, save wrestling. Because
Yeah.
really, without those three guys, what is anything?
Nah,
What is anything in this sport right now?
that's not hard to argue with,
Yeah.
man. Or
I will
that's
say
hard to argue with.
about
Sorry.
I will say about the Shield. They also do it later for the 3-on-1 gimmick. I like how and WWE camera work at this time gets buried a lot, but I do really like the chaotic nature of the camera, like always moving around during Shield attacks. It was something that stood out to me because they did it again with later on when they were all jumping right back. I thought it was pretty cool.
I
Yeah, no,
mean,
that's
they
pretty sweet.
knew for some reason the Shield. They were very much like, hey, we fucked up on the Nexus and things like that. we have to make this work. Like we're trying, and they tried, and they did their best, and they did everything for the Shield, and it worked out well. So it's not like they did it for no reason. It most definitely worked out well for them. But it's just
Yeah,
how crazy to think that 2 years ago they had pretty much the same angle and fucked it
but I mean,
because
yeah, they
John
did
Cena.
this. They did this like external force coming into the WWE. Like they did this one a lot better. They what do I want to say? Presented the Shield in a much more threatening way. In a way, I remember. I think it was earlier on in the Punk segment where fucking Satan called them an organization, like the organization known as the Shield. And I was like, oh,
Yes.
that's pretty cool.
He said
Oh,
Satan.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, in my notes, he's like, I only called him Satan.
That's a good point because CM
Well,
Punk
fair
doesn't think
enough.
so though. So he unjustly prosecuted is Vince McMahon or shaded himself. Roman, they do the triple power bomb to Sheamus, and Roman Reigns does not do the ooh-ah.
I wrote down that Roman can't stop screaming. He just
But
can't
yeah,
stop.
his key
Wow.
word this time was not ooh-ah, but it's believe in the Shield.
Believe in the Shield, and then as they're about to fade to black, he just straight up yells in Sheamus's face.
And we come back, and Sheamus is in the hospice. I don't know where he went.
The
He's
locker
injured.
room.
There was something like that. And Kofi Kingston's outside. Kofi Kingston is the Intercontinental Champion with no belt. He's
Yeah,
got
you
no
wouldn't
belt here.
know.
You wouldn't know he's Intercontinental Championship, but he's interviewed. Is he interviewed or somebody just talked to him?
No, he's not interviewed. It's somebody that's
Wayne
like,
Bear just
he's
popped
injured
up.
in there. And then
It's just a random dude.
yeah, and then
Bug
our
off.
big guy, Wade Barrett comes up and
Bug
says,
off.
"Bug off." So the person they run off.
And Wade Barrett is like, says what we said, or what you were saying earlier. How about you choose Hornswoggle or somebody like that?
Yeah,
And
why is nobody choosing Hornswoggle? What's going on, guys?
Yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe I would actually.
Yeah,
and
where's Hornswoggle?
he's like, how about you face a real wrestler like Wade Barrett? And Kofi Kingston says, well, I beat you at TLC, so why should I give you another shot? And Wade Barrett's like, well, you could have got me. And then Kofi's like, you know what? I'll give you a title shot.
Yeah, that's so weird. That was so weird because the way that he said it was kind of just like because he was like, yeah, man, I already beat you at TLC. You really don't deserve another shot. And then Kofi was like, yeah, but I'm gonna give you a shot.
Yeah.
So what did you say that for?
I overlooked that. You actually do deserve the shot. My bad.
And knowing what happened after this, it's even funnier.
That's crazy.
But no, he gaslights him. And then we go to CM Punk, Paul Heyman, and Brad Maddox.
Maddox, they keep calling him.
Yeah, they call him Brad Maddox. The Maddox, Brad Maddox. And Brad Maddox is in a bad place here. I don't know what happened because I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown. We didn't really get any background. But he's in a bad place, and he's asking CM Punk and Heyman for a
Oh
job.
right, I think if I remember correctly, there was an angle going on that like if he could like beat somebody in a match, then Vince would give him a job or something like
Yeah,
that.
he had
I think that's
Yes.
to beat. I think I remember this. He had to beat Ryback or some sort.
yeah.
Oh, he's
He had to
right.
beat Ryback. And yeah, this is when he does the thing at Hell in a Cell where he screws Ryback out the championship. Uh, and now he's looking for the guys that die hire him, of course, for a job.
Also, when they come into this room, the cameraman, Punk is like, yeah, it's not like we're trying to have a conversation in here or anything.
Dude, he screams in his
Well,
face.
because the
"That was
cameraman's super
like
in
a
frame.
conversation." I
The
was like, oh my god.
cameraman is super duper in frame. But no, the response to Brad Maddox here is to try the unemployment line.
He said, "How about you ask somebody who's giving the jobs out here, not me?"
And firing, hiring and firing.
When the hiring and
Vince
firing
McMahon,
ain't
Vince
us.
McMahon was out here.
Yeah, that is a good point. But Vince McMahon is more interested in calling him Brad Maddox.
And while he's begging, he keeps begging for the job. And Paul Heyman goes, "You know what? Get out. Get out of this locker room. Get out of the WWE and more importantly, get out of my life.
And
And
he
when
does.
Brad,
His life is,
when Brad
His
turns
life
is
away
more
to start
important.
looking away, they zoom the camera out, and Punk is giggling like crazy.
Yeah, and Brad Maddox never interacts with the Shield or Punk ever again. So
Does he not?
no, he's not involved in the Rumble angle with Rock.
Oh man, you took his word for it.
He got
Yeah.
out of the WWE and got out of his life.
Well, you know, we're happy and smiling about this, how funny this segment is, but there's nothing funny about this. Mae Young
Ah.
tummy ache.
Oh,
Mm.
Oh,
Oh my god.
oh.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Mae
Mae Young's
Young,
dying. She's
Mae
Who
dying.
Young
wants
is
to talk
dying,
about it?
and she
She's
got
Let's
dying.
talk
booked.
about
And
it.
everybody's like, oh my god, May, what's wrong? We need a doctor. And then conveniently, this jobber in a doctor's coat said, I am a doctor. And he walks in. He's
Hey,
like,
I'm convenient number doctor number 2. What about the Chicago physician? Was he not at the
he
meeting?
wasn't in the area. He left already. But
Went back to Chicago.
He
they're
already
like, hey
flew
man, we
out.
need to lay her down. We need to see what's going on. So the Usos are like, man, move! And they clear out a table and they dump the table. They dump the food on the table and they get this table for May to lay down on.
That's the
And so
same table
May,
Ricardo is getting his food.
exactly. And then so May lays down on the table. The doctor, uh, examines. And as he's listening to her stomach, he's like, this is impossible. And everybody's
No.
like, what are you talking about? And he says, Mae Young's not going to be able to compete tonight. And they're like, well, why not?
What?
Tummy ache?
Well, she's 89.
And he was like, this woman is pregnant.
Oh my
And
god.
then
Oh,
somebody,
oh.
somebody very loud says, again?
Dude, and they cut back to commentary, and then Jerry Lawler, because of course he does, says, "Oh my God, Mae Young is in labor."
Yeah,
I
this man,
fucking hate Jerry
Jerry
And
Lawler.
says
Michael
he's
Cole.
not the father. Before then, May looks at the camera like cross-eyed, and she's like, "Not again." And I was like, "Okay, well,
she can barely get that line out. By the way, it is 12 years since the original Mae Young angle, and maybe even longer. The time between the last Mae Young pregnant angle, and this one would be the same amount of time if they between now and that episode of Raw. If you
that's
really
just
want to
awful,
take that
awful television right now." And then
take that
that
into
leads,
account.
it leads to Eve coming out, and Eve
But
says,
wait! You forgot one thing about Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole. Jerry Lawler says he's not the father, and Michael Cole's like, "Well, she's in your age range," and Jerry
"Oh,
Lawler says,
that's right."
"I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking murder
He's
you."
like, "You want to make it to New Year's?" So, okay.
Oh, it's your
Uh,
life.
Yeah, I'll enter your life. I'll enter your life right now. Ah!
Eve comes out. Eve says she was looking forward to defending her Divas Championship against a Hall of Famer, and she asked for the ref to declare her the winner by forfeit. And before the ref can do anything, some music that I've never heard in my life hits, and out comes
Oh
Kayla.
my God.
Oh,
A
jeez.
music that I've never heard and a woman I've never seen before.
Come on, bro.
And
Kayla was beast. Kayla did what the spear.
she did do the spear, and she did it early into this, but she didn't. I was watching this, and I was like, "Oh, she's gonna win the title."
No.
But no. This match.
No.
Well,
Not
Yeah,
only is
yeah, it's not this
not
show.
only did she not win the match, but there is no match, and I don't
But
know
the
any
bell
notes.
rung.
I know the bell rang, but there's no bell ringing after. I have no idea what happened here. Literally, I
I,
just said what happened. My
I
notes
have
is
no
what
idea.
happened.
I have no idea. I just simply wrote they brawled, and then
The crowd didn't care
Eve
again.
left.
By the way,
Yeah, they brawled and Eve left, and that's all I had. Everything Divas division today was just awful, and then it still continues because May comes back, and it's also
oh,
just awful.
we'll get
Yeah,
to that.
like I said, it's just a very weird time gap where there's no Total Divas, there's no Stephanie creating women's wrestling, but they can't do the bikini stuff because it's PG. So they're like very in a crossroads where it's like, oh, what the fuck can we do with these women?
Women,
So
but oh, jeez. After this, we go to the murderer from last week, and Ricardo Rodriguez, the versus
Yeah,
Del
he's a good guy
Rio,
now.
is now a good guy, and he's a babyface, and he is talking to Ricardo Rodriguez, and I guess to cement this heel, he's like, "Man, I'm tired of treating you like trash, man. I'm sorry, I've been treating you like dirt." He's like, "I really
Yeah.
want to treat you better," and it starts with tonight. You're gonna look like a star, and he gives him his black scarf, and then he gives him the keys to his car. But between this, Ricardo walks off, and before he gives him the scarf, he's like, "Hey, one more thing." And Ricardo comes back, and then he gives him the scarf. And then Ricardo goes to leave again, and then Del Rio goes, "Hey, another thing." And then he
It was
gives him the
so
keys.
crazy they did that.
Yeah. Did y'all not find it weird for? Because I think TLC has already happened, and the real is a face at that show. But then Christmas time
And then
comes,
he's a heel.
he's bad guy again, but now
He
he's good guy
killed
again in
Santa
a week's
Claus.
time. Did y'all not find that weird? Like, it's very like.
Okay, well, he's just heel because, everybody realized it was a mistake.
That's the
And
problem.
then
He was healed because he was a victim of
Victim of
circumstance. He was just
circumstance.
trying to make his entrance, and Mick Foley hopped in front of his car. So it
That
was,
is true, and we'll see that later.
it was kind of just unfortunate.
yeah,
And then everybody
and
realized by
truthfully,
next week that it wasn't his fault, so he's a good
Yeah,
guy.
and
everybody's
truthfully
like, you know
speaking,
what, man? We were
and
kind
truthfully
of.
speaking, like, I mean, you can't blame Del Rio. I mean, he does do his entrance all the time. Why did he? Why did his Santa go on the other side? What
Why,
was
why
wrong
did
with the other
Santa
side
jump
even?
into his fucking car? How about that?
Yeah,
How
he
about we
didn't have
ask
to
that?
jump into his car. I mean, two things are true. Number one, he didn't have to jump into his car. Number two, Del Rio could have just waited a second until Santa cleared out. I don't know who sent Del Rio out there at the same time that Santa
What
was
was he
clearing
Well,
out.
yeah,
gonna
I mean,
do? Did we ever
I
know?
mean, if anything,
Nobody
if any,
knows.
if
Just
anything, it was the fault of the guy who said, "Hey, you could go now." Because
yeah, the
like,
guy, somebody should have been back there and should have told Del Rio, "Hey man, he's still out there and he's still in the area.
hey,
Maybe
dude,
don't."
Santa Claus is still there.
Somebody
Santa
should
Claus
have
is there.
told Mick Foley, "Hey man, this guy's driving. I probably shouldn't hop in front of him."
Yeah, I should move out of the way. But no, Del Rio's a babyface as well. It's the Big Show, the World Heavyweight Champion, as mentioned,
Yeah.
and despite being a heel, he's coming off of a great match at Hell in a Cell, but he is cheesing down the ramp. He is excited to be here.
Yeah, he's got
Dude,
the
he
easiest
goes
match of
to
all
he,
time.
he goes to give the title and like let a kid touch the title, but the kid is fucking stupid and doesn't do anything.
Well, no, Keelix, because if you watch SmackDown, you know that he let Ricardo do that, and he punched Ricardo Rodriguez. So Big Show was trying to insinuate that he was going to punch the little kid if
Oh
he
my
held the title.
No,
god, I didn't
knock
even
this
think about.
bullshit
You're
out.
right. Oh,
Because we
Jesus.
get between the beginning of the match, it shows on SmackDown, Ricardo Rodriguez is holding the belt, and Big Show goes up and he's like, "Why are you holding my belt?" And he hits him with the WMD, and Booker T goes, "What the hell, man?
Nah,
Why'd you do that?"
wait, hey, because he told Ricardo, you know, introduce yourself. Say you're the new world champion. And then Ricardo's like, well, the new world heavyweight champion. And he started getting confidence. Ricardo, and he gets knocked out there. And I was like, oh, come on, man. But also, yeah, you were gonna say that he got mad at Booker. Oh, Booker, you gotta give me real competition. And then the next Monday, you picked Ricardo Rodriguez, so you didn't even want the competition because you just picked the same guy that you just knocked out, man.
I
And
Well,
it
know.
was just like, oh my god.
Big Show loses the title on Friday to Del Rio.
I tell you, man, the WWE at this time, the WWE, the year later, the WWE in general, from the late 2000s to the early 2010s, is some of the worst television ever, ever.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm very nostalgic of it. And I always say this when watching shows like this. It's like, man, I'm happy I was like 4, 5, 6, 7. Because if I was the age I'm at now, if I was 16 or 17, dude, I'm asking my mom for Ring of Honor tickets and DVDs because I'm not watching the WWE.
Super Dragon help. I'm
It's
staying
unbelievably
up,
bad.
staying up to 3 a.m. to watch Carl Anderson in the finals of the G1.
It'll probably be worth it because it would be better to stay up at 8 p.m. to watch The Miz be a face.
The Miz be a babyface, but hey, man, have no fear. Ricardo Rodriguez is here, and he's here in the car, which by the way, despite it being shown clearly that Alberto Del Rio gifted him his car for the one night, Jerry Lawler says, that must have been a Christmas gift from Del Rio.
Well,
And
late Christmas gift.
no, they just showed that it was Del
Yeah.
Rio.
He gave it to him as a late Christmas gift. Come on.
He literally said for this match. That's,
Yeah, late Christmas gift. Giving him a car for this match.
Which is kind of fucked up because
Let's
Del
just
Rio has
talk
so
about.
many.
What a great Christmas gift.
Del Rio has so many cards. You could have just gave him it. You have so many cards. We see you come out with all these cards. You could have just given him this one.
Well,
Why is it
maybe he's
just for
running
this
them.
match only?
but Ricardo gets in the ring, and they do the Super Duper Champion intro. If anything, if they would have gone all out, they should have dimmed the lights. That's,
Well, they weren't doing that yet. I don't think they weren't ready.
they
They weren't
Yeah,
ready
they
yet
not even
then.
introduced
NXT.
they introduced Ricardo, and they introduced Big Show, and then the match starts. And this match actually kind of has the crowd invested in it. And
Yeah.
Big Show's just beating up Ricardo. He's whooping him. And then Ricardo gets a comeback spot. And the crowd doesn't erupt, but it shows more passion than it has since John Cena
This
came
is the
out.
loudest. This is the
This has
loudest the
legit
Yeah.
been
crowd
the
has
loudest
gotten
the
into a
crowd's been
match,
since Cena.
Mm-hmm.
which says a lot. Because again,
Sheamus was out
Sheamus,
there.
the former world champion, versus Dolph Ziggler, the guy they're trying to push, was out there, and they didn't give a fuck.
The Shield was out. CM Punk was out there. I mean, they cared about Punk. Ricardo hits a really nice insecurity on the Big Show and goes for a crossbody, but Big Show counters him, and Del Rio's had enough. He's going to do a DQ.
So,
Oh, well, something happens after this. And we mentioned
well,
earlier.
first, if you haven't paid attention, for the Champions Choice matches, it's been 2 out of 3 matches that's ended with a DQ.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh, buddy.
that's how 2012 Raw goes. But Alberto's going up the ramp, and they're showing Big Show in the ring getting really frustrated. He's screaming. He's going, oh. And then
Oh,
they come back to Del Rio on the stage, and you can see on the title shot clear as day that Big Show is cold and calculated, just staring a dagger into Del Rio. And then it cuts back to the ring, and Big Show is once again going, and then it cuts back, and he's staring straight, and then finally they do get a shot of Big Show staring at Del Rio, and it's a very scary image. I screenshotted it.
yeah, I don't. I was very confused, and then because I remember Reed was laughing, I was like, "What are you laughing about?" And then he's like, "Oh, you gotta go back and see this." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'm looking, I'm like, "Okay, well, what am I supposed to look at?" And I look at the Titantron, and I'm like, "Okay, he's figure face." And then they cut back, and he's screaming. I was like, "Wait a minute, I just can't be right. Something's gotta be wrong here." I don't know.
Get a shot of him screaming again. This is a taped show, by the way. So, if you didn't know, this was taped for New
Yeah.
Year's. After this is the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, plus 10 a
Kofi,
night.
Kofi Kingston and Wade Barrett. I love Kofi Kingston, and I love the Bear Barrage.
This
You
match
guys have
wins the
anything?
NWE podcast. Skip of Death.
Woo!
Yeah! First ever season 2.
Skip a death happens here, and yeah, Barrett wins the belt.
Yeah,
Oh,
title change. Kofi Kingston's an idiot. He looks
So,
like a jabroni here.
and and again, the three out of all the Champions Choice matches, the only match that went and happened was the 3MB match. The other two was a DQ, and the one match that had time, the nigga lost. He chose the wrong fucking opponent, and they lost.
Well, yeah, this kicks off Wade Barrett's 2-year dominance of the mid card.
it doesn't get any worse than this.
Hey.
Oh yes, it does. Oh yes, it
Oh,
does.
yes, it does. Because coming up next, Mae Young is in labor.
Ah,
Hooray!
When I
Hooray!
when I when I tell you
We've not made
But
it to her
before
giving
that,
birth yet. Yeah.
it's her. They show a recap of Raw of the Christmas episode that we also reviewed. You should watch that.
Yeah, you can
And
go
they
back and watch that if you're a
and
first time viewer.
they show it in the most dramatic way possible, where you think Santa is actually dead for a couple
Santa's
minutes. You
down.
would think he's dead.
Santa's
Santa's
down.
down.
No,
And and you can see in the back John Cena is trying not to laugh
I
about
didn't notice the first time, but yeah, when you guys brought it up, you can
he
see
was doing
his like
speed labs,
his mouth is twitching, bro.
bro. Why you
for
laughing?
Santa.
Why are you laughing, Cena? Bro, what the fuck?
For Santa. And they edit this match, bro. It's like it's the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. It's like dum 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 dum. Oh my God, Cena hit him with a teddy bear. It's and it is like, and then they do a simulcast, so it would make you believe that during the match they're showing Matt Striker in the back, um, talking to Santa, because then he goes do 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 do. And here comes Mick Foley, Santa
Santa
Claus,
Claus is alive.
and
He's
he's
not
alive and
dead.
well. But this is our second time covering this, not mine, but your guys's.
Yeah,
And
and I hate it.
he beats up Ricardo. John Cena wins. Del Rio's a babyface now. Um, but man, we're back to the party. Santino and Zack Ryder are here, and I'm gonna let you guys rock on this because I don't want to talk about it.
When
Come on.
when I
Oh,
tell you
Snoop, you
when I
got
tell
it.
you I had when I tell you I had the most, like, I couldn't. So Santino and Ryder walks in, and Vicky's like, "Oh man, it's getting wild." And Santino's like, "Oh, that's my type of party." He's like, "No, it's actually getting wild." And they
No, dead
go and
ass.
they and they go to the table and go to the table and they're trying to check, and then and somebody farts, and Vicky Guerrero goes, "Excuse me,"
Oh, oh.
and like my
Also,
genuine, I was
by the way, Great Khali is at the end of the table holding up May Young's legs.
when I watched this and I couldn't do nothing else but laugh, because if I was to say something, bad things would have been said. So I just started just laughing. I was laughing like a maniac.
Oh,
And then
oh.
Dale Bryan and Kane are in there, and then Dale Bryan's saying no, no, no. And you know what, Dale Bryan? I was saying the exact same thing watching this.
But you
And
know what
then
Kane says? Yes,
Kane says yes,
yes, yes.
Because he's
and then Dale
awful.
Bryan say no, and then everybody say yes, and then it was like, oh, he's coming out, and they pushed out a baby, the New Year's baby, and it's Hornswoggle.
Yay!
As
Woo!
as all
Horse.
great PG era
Hornswoggle with
segments
a big
end.
ass Cuban cigar gets in May Young's lap, and they give him a baby bottle.
Just like
Hornswoggle, by the
every
way,
just like every punchline in PG
Hornswoggle
era is Hornswoggle.
is a grown ass man at this. Well, not
He's having
grown.
a New Year's
He's a
baby.
man,
This is here's baby.
and like this, like when people diss this time of era, because of course I was a little kid. I'm like, I'm very nostalgia of this. When you watch it back, you can't argue with any person that says this sucked, because it did. Mae Young farting, farting woman, and Hornswoggle punchline is the three-peat of fucking ass at this time. And the worst part is, I know for sure, because I seen him on the show, Vince McMahon was laughing his balls off. He thought this was the funniest thing in the world.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
That's
Vicky
hilarious.
Guerrero, fucking Mae Young being pregnant 12 years after the first time, because that was funny the first time. And Hornswoggle is a baby in a diaper. He has tattoos, by the way, with a beard, and he has a cigar with a baby, with a baby bottle. And I just, you can't argue when anybody says this
He's got the
era
Miss
sucked.
Piggy tattoo.
And also, and it's like, I like to rag on, I get very, very angry about stuff that happens now. The Judgment Day, things of that nature. I look at that now, and I think to myself, it could get a lot worse. The Judgment Day sucks, but it can be Dominic Mysterio being a baby. So I'm very, thankful that shit got better when Satan died. It just
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So, anyways, they come back to commentary, and Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler are laughing it up. They are hamming this shit up, bro. Oh, oh,
They've been laughing
oh,
all night.
oh, oh.
Jerry's been saying the worst jokes of all time, and Michael Cole is reacting like it's
And
Bernie
Jerry
Mac.
Lawler goes on to say, possibly the greatest joke he may have ever said in his life, even though it really isn't a joke.
it's not a joke.
He
It's how I
says,
feel.
he says, I'm almost mad at the doctors in Canada for saving my life. And I agree. I'm actually mad at the
I,
I'm so
doctors.
mad, Jerry.
dude, I was right.
Yeah.
Mike, I was like, Jay, I was right there with you.
I'm not almost mad
Because,
at them. I am mad at them for saving you.
man, that genuinely, if you didn't know, Jerry Law had a heart attack and almost died. But tonight was the worst thing he had seen, and I agree with him. I think Jerry Lawler should have died. I think the company business should have died there too. Um, I said Hornswoggle is the New Year's baby because of course he is. That's
Yeah. Who
and
else? Who
then
else would it be? They
after
don't have any
this,
other midget wrestlers.
we've El Torito. Is he there
Ah,
yet?
well, yeah.
We follow this up with one of the four guys who's over on the show. Here comes Ryback.
Oh
Ryback
yeah,
is
yeah. I forgot.
here.
They go right into this too. It's kind of crazy. Like right after that joke, it's like, oh, just
Dang.
Shield. Not even. They don't even do the Sierra Hotel shit no more. They just Shield,
Shield. Dang.
and they start coming down. Roman Reigns with his baby arms, nothing on him. Fucking, I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. It's just a dude. But like, there's a guy in a white shirt that comes down to almost down to the ring with Dean and Seth. And then he, like when they get to the bottom of the stairs, he just goes, he turns back around and goes back to his seat.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I felt just like the Shield.
I'm the Shield, guys.
Yeah, they're going against Ryback, who, like Reed said, is one of the four people that are over on this show,
Yeah,
and it doesn't. You wouldn't believe the match doesn't start, which fair because like they probably didn't want the Ryback to lose before he gets a time match, and they don't want the Shield to lose, so they just have a brawl, and then the
It's
Sheamus
a
comes out.
shameful thing.
lobster
Lobster
head, and then he starts getting his
Wait,
ass whooped.
and then
again.
I was also like weird because it was like if they were already out there, why don't just have the match now? And why did they have to
Well,
wait till everything else? But
here comes
of
that
course, you
big
had to
heel
have
turn they were
time
talking
for
about.
they had to make time for Mae Young. So I guess
Yeah, and here comes that big heel turn they were talking about. I hear voices
This
in
in
my
my
head.
head.
It's Randy
yeah,
Orton.
Randy Orton is back.
Randy
Is
Orton has returned from getting his shoulder separated by the Shield. I didn't know exactly what just happened because he was on the pay-per-view before. He missed TLC, but he's back, and it's Ryback, Randy Orton, and Sheamus. But that is, I don't. Does that match happen? Does any of the 2013 Warriors know?
Uh, I don't think so. I mean, it was a lot. They probably did on Raw, but it was a lot of the combination or Raw or SmackDown. But the combination throughout 2013 was Randy, Sheamus, and somebody else.
Cena, Bryan, Big Show, uh, maybe Ryback at some point. They end
Yeah,
up winning with who? Bryan, right? And that's not even. I'm pretty sure that's the Sheamus, Kane, and Bryan. Or
yeah, I think so.
or is it the Usos? Is it a big tag and it's the Usos too?
I think what it was. I think what it was. I think what had to be Brian, Kane, and Randy because they all get like title matches at that show. They after that. So
Yeah,
I
Roman
don't know.
is not built up at all here. Like we said, no gloves. He's not got the ooh-ah.
Little baby.
Ambrose and Rollins are definitely know the gimmick a little better. I like the stuff the Shield does on the show, even though it causes DQs. It's a lot more refreshing than Hornswoggle, and it just really feels out of place because you've got like the remnants of the early 2010s here with like Hornswoggle being the punchline everywhere, but then you've got like a glimpse of hope with Punk, with the Shield, and I will say after watching that show, 2016 Raw and like 2015 Raw seem like 2000 Raw's War compared to
Yeah,
the show that
man.
we.
2019 Raw feels like Ruthless Aggression Raw. Like, yeah,
Well, that wasn't good either. So.
well, yeah, well, this wasn't either. So,
Yeah,
Between
this
the
is
two, I
worse than
think,
that. Hmm. Oh, I said the worst version of Randy Orton's here. By the way, that was my
yeah,
because this is
2012 is a
2012.
terrible year for Randy. I mean,
He
the
failed.
worst year.
He failed drug tests, and they had no confidence in him being champion. I don't think he held a single belt in 2012. And now I think we've made it. We've arrived to the Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee toast to the new year.
Yeah, I hope I get invited.
Well, I could say right now, the first half of this got the Keelix personal skip of death.
Because he
Yeah,
is
Dolph.
talking for 49 minutes. Dolph Ziggler.
Do you have
Dolph
any
Ziggler
quotes?
comes out.
Do you
Dolph
have any
Ziggler
quotes
comes
for
out and
this?
he's basically talking about how, oh man, you guys voted Cena Superstar of the Year, and here's all the reasons why he shouldn't have won, which is fair because he got his ass whooped during
And
this
he
fucking
shows you
whole year.
that. And he shows you that.
I mean, yeah, they show what? Okay, this is what I found funny. They show Rock. They show the Rock match in picture. They show Brock Lesnar coming back in video, and then it's like,
No
okay, maybe they're
mention
just
that he
showing the
beat
pay per view.
Cena.
They're just
Yeah.
showing, the pay per views in video in picture. Then they show Big Show knocking out John Laurinaitis or knocking out John Cena in video. So it's like they really just wanted you to buy that pay per view. They say you better buy that pay per view or we'll kick your ass. You better watch Rock and Cena. Everything else,
Yeah.
who fucking cares?
I think it's funny. Every time they put the new picture, the commentators were pretending like, it's like, oh, well, this is where Rock beat John Cena. If you didn't know about that. Not like that wasn't the biggest match of the year. Oh, that's Brock Lesnar. He came back.
Yeah,
Like they
well,
act like the people that watch the show are stupid.
I think, well, at the same time, I think it's like maybe I don't know why they had new fans, but maybe they had fans that just didn't watch that show, and I think it was a good, like a good little refreshing point. I don't
And by the
know.
way, he shows the John Laurinaitis match, and he's like, "Do you guys remember John Laurinaitis?" And I'm like, "Well, he was just a constant fixture on the show, not even like half a year ago. Like he was all over the show.
Of course, I remember
Dude,
him.
and I was like, dude, you were his like one of the main guys.
He was on Team Johnny at WrestleMania."
Yeah, because John Laurinaitis gets, I guess, in his words, in his way, publicly executed in July. I think that's what
Publicly
No Way Out
executed
is,
by John Cena, No Way Out. But Dolph
right?
Ziggler I have a quote here from Dolph Ziggler, and I don't know what this was referencing. He said, "Hot dog, we have a wiener," and it was on him beating Cena. I think.
Oh yeah, he was.
Hot
What did he
dog,
say?
we
He was
have a
like,
wiener.
what did Cena do this time? And he has like the crowd, I guess, and then AJ raises his hand. He's like, "Oh, you beat him." And it was like, "Hot dog, we have a wiener." And
Hot
I was like,
dog.
man, and I was like, man, people really wanted this guy to be the guy, huh? Because
Oh,
it's
and
like,
Cena will let you know that in a minute.
because it's like, Dolph Ziggler was basically the company's answer to Edge retiring. Because like they just tried to make him Edge in a way.
Yeah,
Like,
Lita's doing a Lita impression
I never really thought
while.
about it until you mentioned it earlier, but yeah, it really does seem like it.
Yeah, I don't think Edge and Lita ever got doo doo dropped on them, but
Well, if they
I
stayed
can't.
around,
yeah,
if Edge was still able to wrestle at this point, God bless.
Well, he's gonna die if he takes a bump.
Yeah.
That's,
I know, but I'm saying, like, if he wasn't injured, they would have done this to him instead.
but
and then Cena
yeah,
comes out.
Cena comes out again, and he's somber again, like he was with AJ. I know.
Oh man,
You guys, I lost, and he's doing the same stuff he really did in the TV promo. He's not saying a lot. He's talking about how he was Superstar of the Year, which is something Ziggler brings up, which is like John Cena was Superstar of the Year, but all he did was lose, and that's when they show the clips. And I mean, to be fair, Dolph Ziggler's got a point, man. They literally are just putting over Sheamus's year earlier in the night, where they're like, Sheamus had one of the greatest years in the history of any superstar in the WWE. So, but Cena wins Superstar of the Year, and Cena comes out and is like, "No, I didn't really deserve it." And right after that, he just flips. I don't know what flips in him, but he goes straight from serious Cena to wacky 2010 Cena, and he pulls out the classic.
Yeah, he does the
Dude,
classic
Biggie
John
starts walking up
Cena,
to the ramp. He says, "Hold it there, Mister T."
which
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know what I'm saying.
yeah. Take
I
a look at
will
this.
actually no, that was just him referencing his music video "Bad Man" with Bumpy
Ah,
Knuckles. So,
yes,
Bumpy
I
Knuckles. Yeah.
see.
But ooh,
but of
yeah,
course, he pulls out the classics of
title
"Hey, look
shot.
at the Titan on. This is you."
Yeah, and it's Dolph Ziggler in a wedding dress, AJ Lee in a suit, and Big E Langston in a blue dress, which I don't know what the joke is for that. And
The
he's
joke
like,
is that they're homosexual. Oh ho
oh,
ho
oh, oh,
oh
oh, oh.
ho.
And then he's got another one, and he says, "This is what your baby's gonna look like." And it's just like the Lita and Kane picture
It's just a mashup
from
of Zolf Diggler. Yes,
Dolph
So
Ziggler.
it is a mix up of Dolph and AJ on a baby's head, and
And then
duh.
he's got one more because
Whoa.
then he's got this is all of AJ's kids. And I said John Cena believes in lesbian adoption because he says that there's a kid that looks like Layla. And I didn't put down everybody. Did anybody put down every single name or
Nah,
face
but
on
I
this?
saw. I
what?
remember some. There was like the Bushwhackers in there. There was Mr. Fuji.
CM Punk,
There's a lot of people in there,
Let's see if
man.
Alberto
yeah,
Del
CM
Rio.
Punk, which
Oh
is
no, not Del Rio. It was Ricardo Rodriguez again. Was
Yeah.
on.
there was Kane, there
So,
was Daniel Bryan, there was the
and
Shield.
I don't know why the Shield were there.
Yeah, and it was weird because it was like fair enough because they made AJ Lee, for the lack of better terms, a whore. Because in 2012, which Cena mentions as well, she
Sticks.
dates Dale Bryan, then Kane, then CM Punk, then uh Cena, then now
Dolph.
Dolph Ziggler. That is
And
five men in the span of
then
a year.
he says six is the
I was
charm.
going to say he said six is the charm apparently. So
That's
So who's the other one?
I don't know.
uh oh, I was gonna say Paige Soraya, whatever her name is. She did kiss Caitlyn, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, she was talking about Big E, or he was talking about Big E. Yeah,
Oh, oh, so they were in a throuple. Is that what he's saying?
maybe, maybe.
It would
Let me
explain
see.
it would explain the dress photo.
And then John Cena decides, I think in his own head, this show has sucked, and I need to bring it back because for the last 5 minutes of this promo, he divulges into some of my favorite Cena isms, and genuinely a great promo on a awful show. Um, he uses the insider terms, and he says something about a push with Dolph Ziggler.
He was like, if I remember, he was like, "Oh man, I would have a push at the back of the people were behind me or something like that." You know, the regular John Cena thing. And then he was like, "Oh man, I think this was before, but I remember he said something about AJ had a really good year in 2012, and then she's gonna have a better year than Ziggler, which is true in 2013." But he just goes on, and then he was like, he just really dives in on the Dolph Ziggler, not getting a push, and why he didn't get one, why Cena has always had the spotlight on him. And he says a line where it's like, you talk about the clothes that I wear, where a soldier doesn't change his outfit or his uniform for 10 years. I was like, man, that was really sweet,
Mm.
Cena. You really did your big one on that one. And the crowd it's like he's very much trying his hardest for this show to not full on suck, which he failed because the show really sucked. But
Yeah, it was just awful,
it,
man. But that promo was good, and he's about to. He's got one more thing to say. I give you a toast, and it's something you're full of.
Mm.
And they look up, and doo doo starts raining from the top of the ceiling, and the commentators could not care less
Dude.
that in a really a cherry on top of their horrible performance tonight
Jerry Lawler at least
is
tried to give it something. Like he was like, "Ah, that's disgusting."
which I was in there. And they go, yeah, next week there's gonna be Dwayne the Rock Johnson. He's back in Tampa. He's gonna be there. Yeah, Happy New Year's anyway. And it's like, wow, because if you watch any of like the Stone Cold segments, when he's drowsing Vince McMahon and the beer, there's JR's like, my God, he's getting the kind of beer over. He's slipping and sliding around. And then, oh well, damn, that's some dookie right there.
We'll see you next week in Tampa when The Rock returns to Monday Night
One of the greatest of
Raw.
all time. And it's like, my God, what happened? Like, what happened? And even like the whole thing is just so. By the way, I want to be pointed out that Lil Reed some after this show was afraid of walking into a room because he thought that Dookie would just fall from the sky. I
That's
thought that
crazy.
John Cena had just some magical powers or something like that.
Why would John Cena do that to you?
I don't know. Genuinely,
holy God.
how did you feel? How did you feel about this last segment, Jordan?
come on, man.
uh, uh, it was doo doo. That's what.
And that was what was raining from the sky.
Well, gotta ignore that because The Rock is coming next week. Pew, pew, pew,
Rock's gonna be here
pew.
next week.
No.
All right, bro. He's in the big leagues and he's swinging for the fence. Whatever. Oh my goodness. Oh my
That
goodness. Oh my
what a
goodness. Oh my
what a
goodness. This is the greatest show.
what a what a show this was. Mae Young gave birth.
Oh my goodness.
The Shield is taking
Great show.
over.
What a great end to 2000.
What a great end to it. Just a banner year for the company. As John Cena so
Oh
gratefully
wow.
said.
I don't know how
Dude,
this
your
company.
last shot of 2012 in the WWE is AJ Lee and Dolph Ziggler slipping and sliding in doo doo while Jerry Lawler,
Do do.
while Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler say, The Rock will be there at TLC. And man,
I
that
don't know
was a
how this
show.
company survived for that long.
Um,
It's never been nastier.
may God have mercy on his soul, as
Hey
a
man,
It's
that's
never
great
been nastier.
philosopher
that's what
once
happens when you
said.
got when
It's
you got
no, it's
cable,
never
man.
been
When you
that.
got the big channel, everybody's got to watch you. You know.
Yeah,
Monopoly, you know.
when you're the only company around, it's like, what can a brother do but to watch the WWE and this shit?
Yeah,
This
literally.
was really bad. This was really bad. I had
This
no
is
fun.
so bad.
No fun watching this show. It was as bad as it gets, man. And you could think, maybe there's stuff that's worse. And I promise you, this is as bad as it gets. The Mae Young stuff, terrible. All these the crowd was awful. The commentary was awful. I genuinely, I, I can't fathom it. Now look, Snoop keeps bringing up like nostalgia, like he's nostalgic for this era. I'm not because I wasn't watching like weekly in 2012 or whatever. So you got to understand me going back and watching these shows.
is just it's the most painful experience you could imagine. And I've seen a lot of just god awful television recently, especially. I'm a sports fan, and of course, I just watch nothing but god awful television. And this is just unbelievable, unbelievable. This is one of the worst shows. And I'll tell you, the Christmas episode was fun in a way. It was fun in a way.
Yeah,
Like
it,
it was
it
still
was
bad.
it was bad
Mm.
or fun, bad fun or whatever the way you want to put it.
Exactly, and like there was still
Yeah,
some
yeah.
things that was like, yeah, that's kind of funny, like I
The
can have
crowd
no
was into it. They
people.
gasped when Santa Claus jumped into the car.
Like that was pretty good. Raw 1000, that's a big show. I remember that show, so I'm a little nostalgic
That's
for
just a
Raw
very
1000. I
memorable
get
show.
that. This show is not a show that I have watched live before today. It's not a show, not a show that I'm nostalgic for. So this is a first watch, and it's unbelievable that the business is not dead. It's genuinely insane that the WWE is still
Miracle.
thriving today because holy,
And they're
holy.
about to, and they're about to go on Netflix. Like,
We're recording this a few days before WWE makes its debut on Netflix. Um, and man, what a difference 10 years makes. Uh,
yeah, like I said, man, like I I rag on Raw, not now. I like to make fun of Raw a lot. I don't like Raw, but God, if it got this bad, like I don't know if I'm watching wrestling anymore. Like, or maybe I am because like I said, AEW. Thank the Lord, that you are a thing because now people that don't want to watch WWE, they
It's
got you. But like,
it's insane, man. Like I didn't like Raw yesterday, but I 1010% preferred that show to this.
Oh, by far.
yeah, I would much rather watch. I'd much rather watch that. I couldn't believe that anybody in their rightful mind would look at the script and say, "I think we cooked there." If
or
you
maybe nobody saw the
genuinely,
script.
if
Or
you
maybe
think this show, if
people
you
were just
think this,
forced to do the things. I don't know.
if you think this show is good, if you think this show is a good wrestling show, genuinely seek help. And I
All
literally mean
blessings
that.
to you, man.
And maybe this isn't for you.
If
Um,
if you thought this show was good, I pray for you. I pray for you.
Yeah, man, that's all I got on this.
Yeah.
So,
We've
that's
said
all
everything we can.
that's all I got, man. Uh, what else do we have?
We
um,
do have the
Oh,
final untitled fit segment
oh,
of the
jeez,
year.
that's a thing.
Yeah.
that's a
Did you
Snoop thing.
did you not
That's
see
a
the
Snoop
picture?
thing for
Yeah.
sure.
Go ahead, Snoop.
Yeah, go ahead,
Well,
Snoop.
this one was not picked out by me.
Well, it
Uh,
doesn't matter. Come on, man.
it was sent in. I don't know I don't know what because I haven't done this in 2 years.
What do you mean?
So I mean, we just said it was 2024. Come on now.
Okay, man.
How
If you
did
say
the
so.
Untitled Fit set go the last time you did
I I don't I don't remember.
Come on.
Oh,
But we do have this picture of the Big Show wearing
Woo!
a big ass shirt, big
Ginormous.
ass jacket,
Ow.
glasses. I think he's wearing Beats earbuds and jeans, and he's real happy.
Mhm. Like, and he's holding a back. He's actually holding two bags. Um,
Mm.
yeah, this guy's
I'll say
swagging for
he's
some
certainly
reason.
probably happier in this photo than he was to wrestle Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's probably happier than me after watching this show. So
He's
yeah,
definitely happier than me after talking about it.
Oh, jeez.
yeah. I mean, cause
Yeah.
and
What a fun time
realistically,
that we just
he probably had probably the only thing that people cared about on the show. So maybe he was happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
What a fun time. I think that's it. I think that's all we
Yeah.
got.
I
That's
got nothing else.
I hope you enjoyed the premiere of season 2 of the NWE podcast. I
Super
hope
duper happy new year to everybody.
hope
Happy,
everybody's 2023 goes
I
well.
mean, just knock
prosperous.
it out of the
We already
park.
Hope your
we already said it.
2023
We're
is
Have the
just as
definitely.
good
best
as John
Mhm.
Cena's.
2023.
I hope you guys win a
CM
world
Punk, come back to
championship.
AEW. We miss you. We
And I
miss you,
hope,
Punker. We
and
miss you.
I'll end this with a toast with exactly what you're full of.
We miss you, Punker. Acknowledge Roman Reigns. We miss you, Punker.
We just acknowledged that it was 2024. We'll see you.
Cody
Bye.
Rhodes is going to win the
2023.
Rumble.
Let's
Music.
go.
2020, 2023 music.
Oh my god, it's Cena twerking. No.
no,
Ah.
no.
Oh, that's kind of nasty. That's
Ah.
kind of nasty. Oh, that's not right.